So first of all, what is a loop? A loop is a piece of code or statement which executes some block of code again and again until some condition is met. So for example, you want to execute some block of code again and again in Java without rewriting it. Loop will help you to do exactly the same. Now, I will give you an example. For example, I have an integer which I initialized it by 0, and let's see first of all what is the basic syntax of while loop. While loop, as the name suggests, use the keyword while and then these round brackets and then these curly braces we will use to execute your statement. Here comes the condition. It can be true or false. Whenever this condition is true, it executes your code here. And as soon as this condition becomes false, then this loop will break. So for example, I want to check whether the value of a is less than 10 or not. Okay, and right now I have initialized it by 0, so obviously it's less than 10. Then whatever I write here will be executed. Okay, and it will execute forever if I don't change the value of a. Okay, so this can be an infinite loop. If I, for example, write system dot out dot print line and I just print the value of a here. Okay, this will become an infinite loop. Okay, infinite loops are also useful if you know how to use them, but right now we will see how to use this condition more effectively. So for example, I print the value of a and then I increase it by 1 like this. So then I run the program here, and what it did the same, execution of code again and again unless this condition is met. So what this code has done, initially the value of value of a was 0, so it has printed the value of a here as 0 because 0 is less than 10, right? Then it increased the value of a by 1, and now the value of a became 1. Okay, and then it goes here once again, and 1 is less than 10, then it prints the value of a once again and it prints 1 here, and it execute the same statement again and again and again, and it increases the value of a again and again until the value of a becomes 10. So it printed the value of a until 9, but when the value of a becomes 10 here, 10 is not less than 10, then the condition is false and we will go out of the loop and program is terminated, right? In the same way, if you do something like this is less than or equal to, this will print the value of a until 10. So let's execute the program and you can see it printed 0 to 10. Okay, and we have done using only a single line of code. We have printed these 10 or 11 values using a single line of code using this loop, right? We are just incrementing the value of a, and on the basis of this we are changing the value of a, and then we are checking these conditions. This will work in opposite direction also. For example, a is greater than or equal to 10, let's initialize a by 10, and if a is greater than or equal to 10, we want to print the value of a, and here we can just minus the value of a by 1, and once again run the program, and it will print a is equal to 10. But here when you change it to, for example, a 0 or 1, let's see what happens. It has printed the value from 10 to 1 in decreasing order. Okay, so you can do or execute your code like this also. So what basically this while loop is doing is it's executing the code or this single line or these two lines again and again until and unless this condition is true. So if this condition is true, this statement will be executed. As soon as this condition becomes false, the while loop will break and it will go out of the loop. Okay, so this is the basic concept of loop. In the last video, we have seen how to use while loop like this. Do while loop is also a kind of loop, but it's slightly different from a while loop, and I will show you the difference once I show you how to use it. So I will leave this code as it is, which I have shown you in the last video. So if you don't know how to use while loop, just see the last video. And this I will leave it as it is to show the difference between while loop and do while loop. And just below this while loop, I will declare one more variable, int b, whose value is also 0. Okay, I have initialized a in the last video as 0, and now I am initializing b as 0. And let's see the syntax of do while loop now. So first of all, you write the keyword do, and then you write these curly braces, and at the end of your curly braces you just write while, and then in this round brackets comes your expression which you want to evaluate, and this will be the Boolean expression. Let's say in the last video we have given this condition. I will copy the same condition in this while loop expression, but this will be b. We are evaluating the value of b, right? So this is our basic syntax for do while loop. And I'm also going to print the value of b, and I will increase the value of b by 1 as I have done in the last video. So here I'm printing the value of b and I'm increasing the value of b by 1. Now let's see the basic difference between while and do while loop. Let's print some line or something in between so that we know that while loop ends and do while loop starts. So this will be the separator between the two lines, right? So let's try to run the program, and now the program has successfully run, and now the result is this one. So for the first time when you see it, shows no difference between the results, right? But the basic difference between while loop and do while loop is that while loop first evaluates the condition and then executes your statement, and do while loop executes, so it do first, so executes your statement first and then evaluates your condition, right? So for example, I want to check if the value of a is for example -1 here, okay, which is not, and here also value of b is -1. Here I'm checking if it's less than or equal to -1, and in while loop also I'm checking if it's equal to or less than -1, and then I run the program. What it does, this while loop will not be executed because we are evaluating this condition, and in here the value of a is equal to 0, and this condition is false because 0 is not less than or equal to -1, so this will not be executed at all, right? And then our line prints, so this line prints, so above this line there is nothing as result, as you can see here, but below this line we have a result 0. So why this is printing 0 here? Because it first executes your statement. So the value of b is 0 and it prints your statement and then increase the value of b by 1, and then it evaluates the condition, right? So even if the condition is false, the do while loop at least once it will be executed. Do while loop statement, at least once it will be executed, and then your condition will be evaluated. So this is the basic difference between while and do while loop. While loop first evaluates the condition, and then if the condition is true, it executes the statement, and do while loop first executes your statement and then check if the condition is true or false, and then once again it will executes your statement if the condition is true. So do while loop at least once it will execute if the condition is false. Now what is an array? An array is same as a variable, but it can store more than one values at a time. But the only condition with array is you need to store, or you can only store same kind of values in an array. For example, you want to store 10 integer in an array, you can do it. But if you want to store 5 integers and 5 double values, you can not do it. So you can only store same kind of data type in an array. So let's see how we can declare array in Java. It's very simple. You just need to give the data type first of all. For example, we want to create an integer array, then we give the data type, and then we use these square brackets, and then we give the variable name. For example, my int array. Okay, and then you can initialize this array in these curly braces, and whatever comes inside these curly braces, for example 1 comma 3 comma 2 comma 4 comma 5, these are the values or elements of the array. So it can store multiple integer. So we have stored right now 5 integers in this array, right? And when you compile it, it will work fine. There is other way of declaring array, and which is like this. You just use your data type and then my int array 2, for example, and then you give your square bracket, and then you can give values to the array, and this will also work fine, but it's not the preferred way of declaring array. So this first way of declaring array is preferred. This is not preferred way of declaring array in Java, but it will work if you want to declare it. So we compile it and it will compile fine. It will not complain. Okay. Now there are different ways of declaring array. The most basic one is this one, but there are different ways of declaring arrays like this. The most used ways of declaring array are these three ways. So first is whatever I showed you here, like this, and which is like this, right? and you can declare an array like this: integer, square bracket, and the name, and is equal to new. We haven't learned what is new keyword here, so I will not go into deep in this and this kind of array. This we will learn when we will learn how to use classes and objects. So we will use this kind of array right now, but I wanted to show you that these declarations are also possible, right? So now if you declare an array, these are called the elements of the array. And right now our array contains 5 elements, and the index, so the position at which these values are stored, are called index. And the index of the array, if you think that it will start from 1, it will not. The index of an array starts from 0. So for example, I want to print the value, this one, 2, for example. So I can write system dot out dot print line, and then in here I can print my array like this, and in the square bracket you can give the index. So if you want to print this 2, you may think that the position is 1, 2, 3, third position, 2 is at the third position, and you can do it like this. But when you run this program, it will give you the value 4, which is this one. So index of the array starts from 0. So 0, 1 and 2. So the actual position of this value is 2, and whenever you write index 2, it will give you the value 2. Okay, let's take some bigger values: 3, 31, 26, 40 something, and 52. Okay, and we want to print 26 here. So the index of this is 0, 1, 2. So just write the name of your array, and then in square bracket the index of the array, and it will print the index of the array like this. Okay, so in this way you can access the value of array. If you want to access this 100, you can just write the position index 0, and then you can access the value 100 like this. Okay, and if you want to print all the values in the array, I have shown you how to use loops, and using, for example, while loop, you can print all the values in the array like this. For example, we want to print the value of all the elements. Okay, so on the basis of its position, you can do it. For example, I declare one more variable, int I is equal to 0, which will be the index, or let's name it as index of the array. Okay, and if index is less than 5, right, because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it will go up to 4, but as soon as it goes to 5, it will be exhausted, right? If index is less than 5, we want to print the value of the array. So index, we will paste it here instead of 0, and then we will increase the value of index by 1 every time in the loop. And this, when we run this program, this will give you the value of this array like this. You see, all the elements are printed like using this while loop. First is 100, second is 31, third is 26, fourth is 48, and fifth element is 52. Okay, but if you do something like this, for example, you change it to 6, but your array value is 5, then it will give you an error, because the last value it will try to access is not existing, so it will give you some error. So always remember what is the size of your array, and depending upon the size of the array, consider making your program, then it will not give an error, right? So size of an array is important. How to use for loops in Java. So first of all, how to declare a for loop. For loop is same as while loop or do while loop in a way that it executes the same code again and again until some condition is met. But in here you have more control over your conditions. Now let's see what is the basic declaration of for loop. So you just write the keyword for, and then you just write these round brackets, and then in curly braces you write your statement. And in here you can give three different expressions. One is called initialization. So I will just do it something like this. Comment. In comments, first of all, first expression is called init or initialization. Second is your expression, and third is called the increment value. Okay, so you give these three expressions inside your for loop. So let's try to declare these three expressions. So inside your for loop you can define this integer value, for example int I. For printing these value, for example, we can declare the index of the array like this, int index. Or in the last video, if you remember what I have shown you. So in the last video I've shown you how to use arrays and how to print the elements, all the elements of the array using this while loop. And we have declared this integer index here in the last video. This declaration we have done outside our loop, which was while loop. But using for loop you can initialize this index here itself inside the expression. So you can initialize index is equal to 0 and then semicolon, and then you can check this condition, which is index should be less than 5. We were here, so it should be less than 5. And then the third condition is the increment. We were doing increment like this, but in for loop you can increment this index inside this expression value itself. So for loop solves three things for you. One is initialization, which you have done outside whenever you were using while loop, and then your expression, which is which will give you true or false, which comes in between, and then the increment, which you were doing inside your while loop, but you can do it right whenever you are declaring your for loop. Okay, so in this way you have more control over your code. Okay, and then you can just print the value of your array, which is this one by one based upon the index. So I will run the program and it prints all the values in the array, which is 100, 31, 26, 48 and 52, which are these. So how it works? First of all, for loop initializes your variable, for example index is equal to 0, and then it checks this expression whether value of index is less than 5 or not. So because we have initialized it by 0, 0 is not it's less than 0, less than 5, which is true, then it executes your statement and then it increments the value. Okay, so first initialization, then expression checking, and then if the expression is true it will print your value and then it will increment the value of index by 1. Okay, so first the value of index is 0, which is less than 5, it will print it, and the value of array at index 0 is 100, right? It print the 100, and then it will increment the value of index by 1, which makes the value of index is equal to 1. 0 plus 1 is equal to 1, and 1 is less than 5, so it will print the value of array at index 1, which is 31, and then it will increment the value of index by 1. Now index becomes 2. 2 is less than 5, it will just print this value again and again, right? So this is one way of using for loop. But there is one more way of using for loop, and which is like this. If you are using specifically arrays, then it's more easy to use this expression for loop. So the declaration is the same, but in the case of array, you can just directly use this array here. So for example, you can just write int element. So this is your name of the variable which will hold the value one by one, right? And then you give this colon here, and then you give the name of your array, for example, like this. So what this expression is doing is it will go over your array one by one, and it will store the value of this array one by one. So at first when this loop will start, the value in the increment or value which will be saved in this element will be 100, and then once again it will loop, and then value becomes 31 here, and then value becomes 26 here, and then value becomes 48. So it will iterate over your array, and one by one it will transfer the value of this array in this element, and then you can access this element like this. For example, you can just print this here like this, and I will just comment this for now, and let's see what happens. I'll run the program, and it prints the same values like these. Okay, so this is other way of using for loop if you have arrays to access the values, right? So here comes the array, and it will transfer one by one your element value in this element, and then you can access this element one by one whenever loop will iterate over the array. Okay, so this is intelligent way of iterate over arrays using for loop, and this is basic for loop which you can use to iterate over some values. So I hope you have understood the basic concept of for loop, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.